Okay, welcome to week 9 of our Pigskin Pick'em. We had a game on Thursday night where Atlanta played Tampa Bay and Atlanta came out on top. I think Matt Ryan's thinking that this team really has something special going on, and I really believe him now. They won that game 43-28. Today we start off our games with Dallas at Cleveland. And I was really glad to hear a little while ago that Jerry Jones pretty much says Romo would back up Dak Prescott when he is able to get healthy, which is pretty soon. I understand he was at practice this week. So I have Dallas winning this game pretty big, 34-10.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a big game for Dallas here today too. Cleveland obviously struggling across the board. I think Dallas goes in here and just continues this hot streak that they're on and, come out easy win. I want to be surprised to see if they, maybe bench a few starters in the fourth quarter to keep them healthy for that, playoff run coming up here soon. I like Dallas here big too. I'm going to go 34-21.
Okay, next we have Detroit Lions at Minnesota. I'm going to kind of go against the grain a little bit today, and I'm going with Detroit over Minnesota. I just feel like Matthew Stafford showing up every week, and I think he's going to have a big day today, and I'm kind of got a little bit of an upset win today against the home team, and that score I've got down is 27-24.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree. I think Stafford is playing at a high level, and I think he will continue to play very well for this team because they need him to perform. He's a franchise quarterback. But Minnesota, they lost 2 in a row, and they really should have beat Chicago. They played bad. Obviously, that offensive line is struggling, but that defense and that defense at home too is it's very key. Look at what Denver did last year with that, honestly. So when you look at that, I think that Minnesota will win this game. It's going to be close. That offense will struggle. It'll be close down to the wire, but I think Minnesota will pull it out 23-20.
Next we have Jacksonville at Kansas City. I think Jacksonville's really going to get it handed to them today, and I think it could be ugly. But I've got my score down as 24-7, Kansas City.
Yeah, I think obviously this is a big game here for Kansas City. They're trying to prove everyone that they are a contender. I think they are. A lot of people do sleep on KC. Every year it seems, these past few years in the Andy Reid era, but they are a solid team, and I think Jacksonville's obviously they have their struggles, but it'll be a good win here for Kansas City. I'm going to go 28-10.
Next we have the Jets at Miami, and I like Miami. I really do in this game. Obviously they're the home team and everything, but I really feel like they're a better team than their record reflects. There's a few teams I feel that way about, but at 3-4, I really feel like they had some games that really could have gone the other way, and it's good to see Miami, getting a little more confidence each week. So I've got them winning today, 21-14.
Yeah, I think Miami is going to win this game too. I think I agree with with their record. It doesn't really reflect. They aren't a great team. They're still a very young team, and they don't really know what they're, who they are right now. They're still kind of growing, learning each other. But New York, I think, is just a worse team. Honestly, I know Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's playing a little better, and he's kind of getting back on track from last year. But he's not doing great. That's not really saying much. When you throw all those interceptions he's thrown, all you can do is improve from that. But I think Miami gets this big win today. I'm going to go 24-20.
Okay, then we have Philadelphia in the New York Giants. I tell you, this game to me is just a complete coin toss. But I'm going to go with the home team on this, and so I'm going with the Giants for 24-17.
Obviously, this is a huge rivalry game.
Yeah.
This is probably, honestly, in my opinion, this is probably the biggest rivalry in the NFL. Both these teams hate each other. You could see some fights break out today. There's probably going to be a lot of penalties, honestly. It's going to be in New York. They're going to be screaming. They're going to be loud. I think both these teams, honestly, are wild card teams. in the NFL. Those teams are fighting for that spot to get that wild card, because I think Dallas has that NFC East. They have that held pretty tightly. So it's going to be a very interesting game to watch. But I'm going to agree. I like the home team here, New York, just because they have that more depth and they're more deep at wide receiver. That offense, I think, is going to come big to play. Eli is going to go to Odell Watch late in the fourth. I'm going to go 38-31 Giants.
Next, we have Pittsburgh in Baltimore. I really believe, this year has been frustrating for me because I've always been a Ben Roethlisberger's fan, and I just feel like he's let me down a lot this year on my picks. I mean, he just hadn't shown up for some games, and it's been kind of surprising. And the injuries and everything as well. I understand all that. But I've got them winning today, kind of an upset win in Baltimore. And that score I've got down as 23-16.
Yeah, this is also another pretty big rivalry game. These teams don't like each other. But Big Ben being back, I think definitely is going to lift the Steelers, back to where they were at the start of the season. Even though Big Ben said he's only 80% back, I mean, still Big Ben at 60% could, get you a good win. Especially this is a key win for them, a divisional game. I like the Steelers here to get back on track and maybe get back to contention. I'm going to go Steelers 27-20.
Next we have Carolina at Los Angeles, and I really believe if the defense will just show up for Carolina, they put up enough points to win this game, because they have been putting up enough points to win the game. And for whatever reason, one of the strongest defenses in the NFL really has become Swiss cheese. They're just, it's like offenses have figured out how to get past Carolina, and they simply just have to show up today and stop Los Angeles. And I don't think that's going to be terribly difficult, even though they're playing there at home. And I've got that score as 24-14 Carolina.
Yeah, we saw Carolina get back on track in terms of defensively last week against Arizona, which was a very big win. Their defense looked like the defense in the NFC Championship game last year. They were getting to the quarterback, sacked Carson Palmer, I think, a combined 8 times, which was just crazy. Very frustrating for them. And if Carolina can keep doing that, they could get back on track. Maybe they can just find a way to climb back up. So, I think Carolina gets this win here today, 31-14, comfortably.
All right, next we have New Orleans at San Francisco. And I really believe Drew Brees has another big day today. I don't see this going well at all for San Francisco. And I really believe New Orleans is a lot better. They're one of my teams that I feel like is a lot better than their record reflects. So, anyway, I've got them winning today 35-14 over San Fran.
Yeah, I think this, I agree there too. I think the Saints are a better team. They just really haven't performed late in a few games. But, I like them here big against San Francisco. I think both these teams are going to put up some points. Saints do have some struggles on defense. They're not totally figured out yet. But, I like Saints going in here in San Francisco and putting up some points, 42-27, New Orleans going in.
Okay, next we have Indianapolis at Green Bay. I just feel like Green Bay is a very solid team, but they're just a little one-dimensional. They really kind of bring a weak running game, but their saving grace is having Aaron Rodgers, who really can come up with some creativity when they need it. I think you're going to see a lot of play action today, and I'm thinking that Green Bay wins pretty big at home, 31-3.
That is a big win. I think, I agree there. I think the running game hurts too, especially with having, Eddie Lacy out, who's a big runner. But even when Eddie Lacy was in the lineup, the running game couldn't find really any strides. So, they depend a lot on Aaron Rodgers. And I think Aaron Rodgers, he always takes the heat when really he's having to do it all this year when you look at it. Even though he does have that good offensive line, and he's maybe not always hitting his targets. But, I I think the Packers are going to get back on track and kind of claim that NFC North as they, should have to start the season. And, when you look over at the Colts, it's Andrew Luck and everybody else. He's got no help around him. He's the highest paid player in NFL history. And you look what they've surrounded him with, it's kind of insulting, honestly. And, when you look at everything else on the Colts, it's just doesn't really look good, especially in his career right now. They're expecting him to play big, and he should play big, but he's getting sacked that much this season. He's your franchise quarterback, and you gotta protect him better than that. So I agree. I like Green Bay at home here, big, 38-10.
Next, we have Tennessee into San Diego. Got to go with the home team and Phillip Rivers. My score here is 31-7. San Diego.
I agree with that. I think Tennessee is a better team than their record reflects. They're still a young team, but I mean, when you have that running combination between Marcus Mariota and DeMarco Murray, they're an exciting team to watch at sometimes. But going into San Diego, obviously Phillip Rivers, he's gonna put up some yards. So I like San Diego here as well. I'm gonna go 31-24 San Diego.
Next, we have Denver at Oakland. And again, I got to go with the home team here. I really like Oakland. I like Derek Carr, and I've got them defeating Denver today, 24-14.
I think this is going to be I think this is probably the game of the week. Honestly, this is a big game. Both these teams are fighting for that number one spot in the AFC West. But honestly, even though Denver does have the best defense in the NFL, I just expect Derek Carr to come out and he's just going to be firing on all cylinders. It's not going to be a high-scoring game because Denver it's probably going to contain them earlier, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Oakland at home, the place is going to be loud. They're going to be wanting to get back on top, and I'm going to go Oakland here, 21-17.
Okay, an election eve night, tomorrow night, Monday night, we've got Buffalo at Seattle, and you got to go with that Monday night home team. I think Seattle's just the better of the two teams as well. But I think it'll be a good game, and I've got that as 31-24 Seattle.
Yeah, I agree there. You can't go against a team on Monday night, especially when that team is the Seattle Seahawks and the 12th man up there. It's going to be loud, I think. But I think it's going to be low scoring early. I think, Russell Wilson, he's had his struggles the past few weeks offensively. It's not just Russell Wilson. That offense on a whole has been struggling. They had that tie in Arizona and that disastrous game. And then, of course, losing in New Orleans. But, that defense is still, I think, one of the top defenses in the NFL. And, look for Russell Wilson. This is where